The humiliation of being brought down not by an army, but by a single human, Su-bai alone. For the Red Lotus demon, this is the greatest shame it could ever face. Even as the monster was getting torn apart, it kept trying again and again to fire blasts back at Su-bai. Explosions shook the whole area, the shockwaves echoing everywhere, but the creature didn't stop. It kept spamming attacks, desperate not to let Su-bai slip away. But in the middle of its frenzy, the monster suddenly realized something terrifying. Su-bai was no longer in front of it. He was right beside it, too close. Su-bai called it an idiot, saying that this was the end. The monster tried to fire one last blast at point-blank range, but it was already too late. Su-bai's sword came down, slashing through in a clean arc. The monster's wings were sliced apart, feathers scattering like ashes in the air, and its body plummeted toward the ground. A notification chimed instantly. Ding! Congratulations, you have passed the God's test. Points, 1,082,022. You have reached the requirements to redeem the only hidden class. Do you want to redeem it? Su-bai barely glanced at it, too tired to care. He let out a long breath, muttering that it was finally over. But then another notification popped up. Once you redeem your 1,000,000 points, you will receive the super professional title Brave. That woke him up. He jumped to his feet, laughing. This was it, the legendary hidden title, an exceptional profession far above even SSS rank. In his past life, this very title had carried him all the way to the 999th floor. This was exactly what he had been aiming for. Still, he forced himself not to rush. Instead, he thought about the golden hoe and the legend tied to it. Supposedly, it could copy items. If that was true, then maybe he could double his rewards here. With a quick prayer for luck, he tossed the golden hoe into the air, hoping the story wasn't just a fairy tale. But then, silence. The hoe didn't return. Su-bai froze. His face darkened as panic started creeping in. It was gone, just like that. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. The system still showed his points intact, but the missing hoe left him rattled. Just as he was wondering what had happened, the ground rumbled violently. Lava flared up around him, sparks of volcanic fire bursting into the air. Then it happened. From one side, something golden burst forth, radiating blinding light. From the other, something dark and purplish surged, exuding a chilling, destructive aura. Su-bai stared at both, wide-eyed, feeling the clash of energies. His body tensed as one of them suddenly exploded. As all the golden and dark energies clashed and converged on Su-bai, a new notification flashed before his eyes. Congratulations! You have obtained a twin career, the Brave Man and the Demon King. Immediately, Su-bai felt his body shift. His form began to change. Half of him radiated light, the other half draped in shadow, resembling a man split between two worlds. The transformation wasn't painless. Power surged through him like fire and ice colliding in his veins. But despite the strain, strength poured into him like never before. A massive portal opened in front of him, its energy swirling like the boundary between two realities. Panels appeared one after another, showing his updated stats. Name, Ken-bai. Level 10. Occupation, Sick King Hero X. Strength 500. Agility 500. Constitution 500. Spirit 800. Health 5,000. Magic power activated. Physical attack 2,000 plus brave bonus 100. Magic attack 3,200 plus demon bonus 100. Special traits. Kinto Group Hero Vibration. Can learn any non-physical skill with instant full proficiency. Yuan Firepower Part 3. Unlimited mana. All non-physical skills have no cooldown. Equipment equipped. Cloak of All Things Supreme Artifact. Fire Dragon Fist plus 1 perfect level. Chain Purple Gold Armor plus 1 perfect level. Su-bai stared at the panels and felt a surge of satisfaction. His 4 attributes had increased more than 5-fold. His attacks had doubled thanks to his new passive ability. His mana pool was now limitless. With this kind of power, he could crush anything in his path, walk sideways across the world without fear. Looking at the corpses of countless challengers who had failed before him, he bowed his head slightly and promised them that he would carry their will forward. This time, he swore he would not stop until he killed 2 gods at once. Elsewhere, Lin Yuchan nervously stared at her friend list. Su-bai's name suddenly lit up, showing him as part of Xia Qingfei's team. She froze for a moment before blurting out in shock that Su-bai had finally reappeared. Her words sent ripples of panic through those around her, who wondered what was happening. The tremors from above felt like an earthquake shaking the town. Back at the tavern, the boss lady opened the door cautiously. To her astonishment, she found Su-bai lying there comfortably, as if he had just woken from a nap. She was stunned and muttered in disbelief that he had actually succeeded. succeeded. Subai smirked and reminded her to never doubt him. The lady, still both excited and overwhelmed, could only exclaim that he had really achieved that impossible job. The tavern lady grows serious and tells Subai that heroes and demon kings are not supposed to coexist. Subai only laughs and replies that he is the strongest among the strong, and she was sharp enough to see it at a glance. He then rises, brushing off his clothes, and says that he has been gone long enough, so it is time to step out and take a look at the world again. He even asks Dana, the tavern lady, if she wants to come with him. Dana refuses and says the outside world has nothing to do with her. Subai understands and tells her that if she misses her wine, he will return. Just before he leaves, Dana stops him and hands him a reward for clearing the god's test. Subai smiles, commenting that she is being generous, as the reward is none other than the hidden badge, a perfect grade artifact that can conceal his property panel, status, and even his image. Dana warns him that the tower is filled with many opposing forces against the Demon King. If he shows himself carelessly, he may not live long. Subai laughs again, saying that this proves she cares about him and thanks her. Dana, embarrassed, snaps at him and shouts for him to get out. The scene then shifts to Lim City, the first great city after Novice Town. Here, players can accept quests, learn professional skills, and prepare for the higher floors of the Tower of God. Portals outside the city lead directly to the 11th through 30th floors. As Subai walks through the streets, he feels a wave of familiarity and quietly says to himself that he is back. Soon, he notices Yuchan standing with her group. He smirks and tells her that she found him quickly. Yuchan, clearly relieved, runs up and says she has finally waited long enough. She asks him where he has been since he disappeared for so many days. Chapter 17. Inside the Lim Chamber of Commerce, Yuchan politely asked Subai to take a seat. He agreed, noting inwardly that the Lin family truly lived up to its reputation if they could open such a luxurious private club in the heart of Lim City. Once everyone was seated, Subai acknowledged how quickly they had gathered the resources, remarking that their efficiency was impressive. Yuchan confirmed this by presenting the inventory, explaining that after deducting the 3,000 gold coins spent on supplies, the remaining 17,000 gold coins were all intact. She sipped on a fine drink, while the guards around her exchanged quiet glances. A small cough escaped her before she carefully shifted the topic. She then asked about Subai's current career rating. Subai frowned, wondering why she wanted to know. Yuchan waved her hand slightly, insisting it wasn't meant to offend him, only that rumors were spreading. Rumors claiming he had lost his job change crystal, with many online even mocking him for it. Subai was surprised and wondered aloud how anyone could have known about that. Yuchan explained that word had spread because Dana, the novice tavern owner, had claimed to have crushed his crystal with her own hands. Subai admitted that this wasn't wrong. Yuchan was quietly unsettled. The rumors seemed true, yet Subai showed no hint of worry, not even regret. She reassured him politely, calling him a man of exceptional ability, someone who stood above their entire generation. To her, his calmness could only mean one thing. Perhaps he had already acquired a new SSS-grade crystal. That thought brought her some relief, but Subai only dismissed it, brushing off the matter as nothing more than an SSS-grade crystal, something hardly worth concern. Then he looked back at her and asked directly what she wanted from him. Yuchan gathered herself and explained her request. She wanted him to join the Lin family's guild and work together to fight the boss. At that moment, Subai's expression hardened. He understood well that the Tower of God's difficulty had escalated dramatically after leaving the novice area, so her suggestion wasn't unreasonable. Still, he made his stance clear. He would help them attack the boss, but he would not join any guild. His responsibility, he decided, would only be to lead them in clearing the 5th floor. The team composition required 5 magic professions, all high damage types. Too many support or defensive roles would kill any chance of a record run. Yuchan's eyes went wide at that, and she practically leapt to her feet, asking if he really meant to set a record. Subai only shrugged inwardly. He knew the math. Normally, it took 20 people to clear a level cleanly. Going for a record meant a very different build. When Yuchan wondered aloud whether it was even possible, Subai told her not to bother if she didn't believe him. He added that the reward for a record wasn't nearly as good as a first kill reward, so he didn't have to do it for the money. He started to walk off, but Yuchan trailed after him, quickly covering for her earlier surprise and asking when they should start. She also asked if the team name could carry the Lin clan prefix. Subai agreed to begin tomorrow. He had matters to handle today. Yuchan beamed and immediately set things in motion. Her assistant pulled her aside and whispered that Su Bai supposedly had no SSS-level crystals anymore. Could he really lead them to break a record? The assistant muttered that the whole thing smelled like a lie. Yuchan glanced back at him, sharp and cold. She reminded him that when Su Bai was a newbie, he'd sliced through 3 or 4 of them like nothing. If they had treated him as an enemy back then, they might all still be stuck in Novice Town. With that, she ordered him to arrange 4 B-rank magicians and hold 1 slot open for her as backup. No more stupid questions. The assistant stammered his compliance but kept his private resentment to himself, thinking Su Bai was courting a quick death. Later, at the city lord's mansion, a guard, Wu Kai, stepped forward and barked that Su Bai couldn't barge in without permission. The guards would shoot first and ask questions later. Su Bai tilted his head and asked what the fuss was about, then offered to share a secret to get in. The man blinked, suspicious but curious. Su Bai simply told him that the only real requirement was strength. If you were strong enough, entry would be no problem at all. As Su Bai approached the entrance, the guard suddenly straightened, his tone changing completely. He addressed Su Bai respectfully, calling him Sir Brave and inviting him inside, explaining that the city lord was currently at the training ground. The onlookers outside froze. None of them could believe what they had just witnessed. A complete newbie had simply walked into the city lord's mansion as if it were his own courtyard. To them, it was outrageous. Inside, Su Bai was quickly surrounded by guards and escorted through the halls. Before long, a deafening explosion shook the ground ahead. Su Bai narrowed his eyes and spotted 2 figures in the distance. One of them, breathing heavily, was Guard Captain Orlando Mullen, level 180, an Earth magician. The other was none other than the Lord of Rim City, Black Ryan, level 200, a human swordsman. Su Bai felt his pulse quicken. This was it, the famous hidden plot of the city lord's mansion. He had stumbled into it by sheer luck. And luck like this meant one thing, a chance to comprehend rare, high-level skills. A soldier glanced back at Su Bai and respectfully asked him to wait, explaining that the city lord was training with Captain. Su Bai nodded. He didn't mind at all. In fact, his thoughts were racing. Despite having gained dual professions, he lacked both active and passive skills and had no clear development path. Until now, the only option had been grinding for random skill books. But this was something else entirely. Here, he could observe and learn directly from masters. Sure enough, a notification appeared before his eyes. C-level basic swordsmanship detected. Do you want to study it? Su Bai's lips curved upward. This was no ordinary swordsmanship. It was the personal skill of a level 200 great swordsman. Another alert flashed. D-level earth-type primary stone wall detected. Do you want to learn it? He grinned, recognizing it immediately as one of Orlando Mullen's spells. He thought it would be a waste not to take advantage of this, so he confirmed without hesitation. The notifications cascaded in rapid succession. Congratulations on successfully learning the skill. Stone wall. C-level continuous step detected. Do you want to learn it? D-level earth element primary stone spike detected. Do you want to learn it? C-level upward attack detected. Do you want to learn it? Su Bai couldn't contain his excitement. He laughed under his breath and kept hitting confirm again and again, greedily devouring every single skill. This, he told himself, was exactly why he had come here. 10 minutes later, the exhausted magician was finally enveloped in a soft glow of healing magic. Su Bai, who had been standing off to the side, stifled a yawn and thought to himself that it was about time. They had spent all this while training, and he had only just finished mastering a few new skills before boredom started to set in. At that moment, a guard approached respectfully and informed the city lord that the brave had been waiting. Black Ryan, the Lord of Lim City, froze in surprise. He repeated the title as if testing his own ears, asking whether the man before him was truly a brave. He then requested to see proof of identity. The glowing notification above Su Bai clearly displayed the word brave man. Su Bai gave a short acknowledgement, and the city lord's expression shifted to one of awe. Without hesitation, he lowered himself into a bow, followed quickly by every guard and attendant in the chamber. Su Bai, caught off guard by their sudden reverence, awkwardly greeted them and told them to rise, remarking lightly that the ground was cold. Once he stood, the city lord regarded him with deep respect. He said that it was beyond belief. The brave had finally returned, the first to appear in over 100 years. Su Bai, puzzled, asked what exactly he meant by appearing again after 100 years. Inwardly, He recalled having heard something similar in his previous life, but had never understood the full meaning. The city lord explained solemnly that, according to legend, every century the Tower of God would give rise to an adventurer marked as the brave. That chosen one would pierce through the darkness and one day lead the people toward the dawn. Su Bai, however, brushed off the mysterious prophecy. He was far more interested in practical matters. He told the lord he had come to take on a quest and asked if one was available. For a moment, the city lord hesitated, thinking it was unusual for someone with the title of brave to request a task, especially at only level 10. He suddenly brightened as if struck with inspiration and offered a simple request. His dog had gone missing, and perhaps the brave might help search for it. The reward, he added quickly, could be 10 gold coins. Su Bai's face darkened immediately. To him, this was nothing short of an insult. He glared at the city lord with fiery red eyes, demanding to know if he was being treated like a beggar. The weight of his anger filled the chamber, and even the lord of Lim City, a level 200 swordsman, felt a pang of panic under that oppressive gaze. The magician standing nearby, realizing the tension in the room, quickly stepped forward. He offered an alternative, suggesting that if the brave hero did not mind, he himself had a few quests prepared, most of them rewarding skill points or basic skill books. Inwardly, Orlando Mullen could not help but think that asking the brave to look for a lost dog was nothing short of an insult. Almost immediately, a series of notifications appeared before Su Bai's eyes. Magician Orlando Mullen issues a quest. Collect 200 skull flowers. Reward, 10 skill points. Magician Orlando Mullen issues a quest. Collect 1,000 skeleton soul fires. Reward, 10 skill points. Su Bai nodded with approval. Not bad, he thought aloud, which made Mullen beam with pride. The magician even chuckled nervously, thanking the brave for the compliment. Another notification soon followed. Magician Orlando Mullen issues a quest. Wizard's Madness Law, Part 1. Reward, 1 random magic book, 10 gold coins. At that moment, Lord Black Ryan seemed struck with inspiration. He announced that he too had a more suitable task for the brave. A fresh notification appeared before Su Bai. Great Swordsman Black Ryan issues a quest. Unusual movements in the suburbs of Rim City, Part 1. Reward, 10 skill points. Su Bai's eyes lit up. He instantly recognized this as the main quest of Rim City, a mission that had remained untouched for 10 whole seasons. In his mind, he reflected on how players of this world always focused on tower challenges, overlooking the daily quests that truly shaped their strength. But then another notification drew his attention, one far more enticing than the rest. Great Swordsman Black Ryan issues a quest. Warrior's Guidance. Reward, 50 skill points. The city lord fixed his gaze on Su Bai with a grave expression. With utmost seriousness, he explained that legends always described heroes as unparalleled masters of combat. He asked, with the weight of expectation in his voice, whether the brave would be willing to provide guidance to his warriors. Su Bai immediately understood this was a test, a challenge not just of strength but of reputation. And just like,
thanks for watching. I'm going to see you next video.